Hi, my name is Allie Griffeth, and I am an anthropology sociology major with a history minor. I am from Greenville, South Carolina, and I identify as a bisexual female. The title of my research is The Bisexual Experience, but that is not how my research originally started. The original question that I had was how gender roles affect bisexuals and how they act based off of their roles and how they present themselves. When starting my archival research, I realized that researchers had not connected gender roles to bisexuality. With that discovery, I went back to the drawing board and asked myself, how do they view bisexuality if they haven't even thought of gender roles within their own research? With this new question, I was able to find resources, and I quickly realized that bisexuality and what it means to be a bisexual is heavily debated within the field of anthropology and sociology. The main terms I came across were queer theory, heteronormativity, homonormativity, and non monosexual. So, queer theory is the idea that heterosexuality is not necessarily the norm, but there's also homosexuality. And the two of them combined are the normativities for sexuality within society. So, heteronormativity is the idea that those that are straight presenting are the ones that come up with societal ideas, or homonormativity is the idea that the way that people act in a gay relationship is normal. And then monosexual um, is the idea of two people being in a relationship together, or non monosexual, which basically means that a person is sexually attracted to more than one person. And of course, bisexuality runs between the two of them. So you could be a bisexual and you could be in a straight relationship, and people would assume that you're going to be acting upon heteronormativity. Or you could be in a gay presenting relationship, and so people would assume that you're acting in a homonormative way, as well as the idea that bisexuals are non monosexual, which means that they are looking for relationships that are not just going to have one partner, but multiple. However, that is a misconception because the way that a bisexual person lives is up to the individual ultimately. So the findings that I had were varied, mainly because there is no set definition for what it means to be bisexual, but is rather up to the individual who identifies with that label. There was also a consistent theme of how bisexuals were shunned not only by the straight community for being too quote unquote gay, but also in the gay community for being quote unquote too straight, especially for bisexual women. They were seen as othered by lesbian identifying women, and one of the resources that I found to the point where they argue that bisexual women are not truly for the case of lesbian women and that they are a danger to the lesbian community. The only way to know the true experience of a bisexual is to start the conversation of what it means to be bisexual and for there to be more research done on the societal impacts that play a part in the lives of bisexual people. How can we start this conversation? Well, being open to having the conversation in the first place is a big step, but also being open to learning about other sexualities and listening to their experiences and why they identify the way they do. Conversation is the first step. And I want to thank you all for listening to my research topic. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask.